Hey guys, Reaper the Ranger. We're on a fantastic day, and welcome to another episode of Reaper Rant. This is my kind of series where I vent and I say whatever the hell I want in a very angry tone if I feel like it, and I just generally talk about something for a long time, something that's been on my mind or something that irritates the hell out of me. So this was supposed to be a regular sort of review of Overwatch and things I wanted fixed in Overwatch, sort of like an Overwatch wishlist video, if you will. But after recording that one and looking at it again, I was like, well, maybe, I mean, this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I was like, maybe, you know, I'm being too critical, I haven't played the game all that much yet, so maybe I'll give it some time, maybe I'll play a little bit more and see what happens. Okay, and I didn't really have my thoughts together in that video, as much as I will in this video, so I was kind of jumping the gun a little bit. So I deleted that video, and I wasn't actually planning on doing this again until tonight. Tonight caused it to be a Reaper rant and not an Overwatch wishlist video. Why? Because the game fucking is horrendously annoying at times. Now, let me say first, this is a 7 out of 10 game. This is a pretty good game, but there's a lot of shit they gotta fix before the game is actually worth the $60 price tag. Okay, first off, the whole $40 on PC, $60 on console thing. That's shafting console players right off the bat. Another thing, they, felt bad for console and saying, oh, well, you guys can't aim, so let's give you some guys that don't need to aim. Soldier 76, Pharah, Junkrat, pretty much 3 of the most annoying guys in the game, when thinking about playing on console. I will admit that Overwatch and, pretty much all shooters are superior on PC for the reason of accuracy. So you're a lot more accurate with a mouse, and you can turn faster with a mouse than you can with a controller. That I will concede. And it's just a different pacing on PC, and it looks a lot better. It not looks as in graphics, but it looks like it plays better on PC compared to console. Now, when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, okay, what do I want to include in this video? Obviously, the shafting console players thing is not cool. The lag, the latency with the controller. A controller has latency where a keyboard does not. And there's been times when I pushed a button, I've seen the ability activate, and I still get killed. And it's like, that's weird. That shouldn't have happened. It's happened several times, and I've come to the conclusion that yes, input latency or input lag is a thing, and that needs to be addressed. I don't think there's any way to fix it. I think it's just something to do with the controller to the console to the server, and then, the information gets there. I think it's just a matter of using a controller versus keyboard. Now, that's pretty much it for the whole shafting console thing. Moving on to balance. Now, this is my major issue with this game. There is barely balance in this game. The matchmaking is garbage, at least on console, which is where I play. On console, matchmaking, garbage. Okay, complete garbage. I will get games where I have low levels on my team and then high levels against me, or just high levels against me and guys that are on my level and then this, that, and the other. I went around not too long ago where they had a level 86, a level 87, a level 67, and then the rest of them were kind of hanging around 38 and 40. And I'm level 43. Then what do I get on my team? The highest guy we get is 67. Everybody else is, let's see, there was a 50, a 40, and a 30. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, that's totally fair. Now, Blizzard has claimed that their numbers and their level system does not equate to skill level. Which, I don't know. I mean, if somebody's level 80, they've been playing a game a long time, and they've had to earn that level, and they had to get up there. They had to spend the time to rise in the ranks. So, I don't know about that whole thing. Now, technically speaking, it does not translate to skill level. Now, it only means that they played the game a long-ass time and know about the game and are probably going to know more counters than you. Okay, fair enough. And me being level 43, I should know about the game by now. The game should not be this super competitive hardcore thing where it's like, well, oh, didn't you know this counters this does that does this? It's like, no, I didn't, because I play the game to have fun. I'm not some sweaty nerd. Another thing. Competitive. I'm not sure if competitive is on PC yet, but I know for a fact that it ain't on console. There is no competitive game mode. It just chucks you in with whoever the fuck it thinks you want to be with. Oh, you're level 43. So we're going to put you in a match with some low levels on your team, some levels around you on your team, and then the enemy team, half their team is going to be level 80. Yeah, because that's totally fair, right? or a prestige on the enemy team and no prestige on our team. That's totally fair, right? Now, I do realize parties come into this, so people that party up, you can't help it. Like me and Happy, I'm level 43, he is level 22, so they can't help but put him in the lobby with me because we're together in a party. That being said, it could try to take these parties and kind of put them only against other parties. So if it's a three-man party, only put it against another three-man party. Okay, that kind of, kind of fucks over solo players like myself. I mean, and then there's some matches that are good where my team kind of works together, or I'm just playing well and I'm having a good time. I will concede that there are the good times as well as the bad times. Now, the bad times seem to slightly outweigh the good times, just a little bit, because of the BS balancing system. Now, we're off the matchmaking balance. The matchmaking balance, that can be an easy fix of server browsing or, not matching anybody with a player that's, outside of their rank, or outside of their level by, like, I don't know, 15 levels or something. Only match people that are only match with people that are like 10 levels above or below you. I think that could be a good fix. So there's that. And also, if someone's in a party, I don't mind this if I'm in a party with like 4 other people. If there's a thing next to their name that shows that they're shows an arrow linking them all together. I mean, it does that in Dota, right? In Dota, on the scoreboard, if you look, you can see a little line connecting 2 people. That's what happens when you party with somebody. It tells you who's in a party. That way you can be like, man, these guys are playing really well, and they seem to know what everybody else on the map is doing. They must be in a party. And it just is a slight confirmation of that. Like, yeah, they're in a party. They're okay. Or if you're like, say, level 80 and you see a level 22 on the enemy team, but the rest of the guys are high level, it's like, I think that guy's in a party. He's like, and it shows all the lines connect to be like, yeah, he's in a party. So that could be an easy fix for the matchmaking. Now, on to the actual hero balance itself. They actually recently reworked D.Va and McCree. I know D.Va, they supposedly fixed it to where he doesn't melt tanks as easily, and like Fan Hammer no longer works on one. You actually have to hit him with Fan Hammer twice in order to kill a tank, which I guess is good, and it seems to be working that way. Now, I have to say, McCree, I can understand the nerf there, but then D.Va, they apparently reworked her shielding or something to make her to where she's not as aggressive, or she's not like messing with her guns or nerfing her. They said they were just rebalancing her to where she's more for defense than offense. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny that you try to rebalance somebody who has unlimited shotgun ammo. It seems how they can just continuously fire and and then jump out of the mech and continue attacking. That doesn't seem like a very defensive unit to me. That seems like offense. A little bit. Seems like offense. But that's the deal with D.Va and McCree, and I felt like those nerfs were necessary, but not exactly priority. There are plenty of nerfs that are definitely needed. Bastion. I think everybody can agree on that. I mean, it's like a 90% it's like a 90 versus 10 thing of, against Bastion or for Bastion, because, like, Bastion, it's not a bad character. I'm not bashing it because it's a camper sentry character, because that's exactly what they built it to be. I'm not going to fault it for that. The problem lies in its speed. It's actually, I mean, my god, I've heard that in the beta that Bastion actually had shields. He actually had a personal shield, like Zarya. Like, what the fuck? Who thought that was a good fucking idea? Trying to adjust my chair here. My chair's not sitting right. So, yeah, who thought that was a good idea with Bastion? Who? And, they obviously took it out before the beta, right? So it wasn't in the beta. But Bastion is still, to this day, OP as fuck. His fire rate, his damage, just his time to kill is insane. It's ridiculously insane. Because if you don't have a shield up, and he's hitting you, anybody that's got anywhere that has 300 or less health will be instantly killed. And even tank heroes like Roadhog and, like fucking Roadhog and what's his name? Reinhardt. Roadhog, Reinhardt, D.Va. These guys will be melted. Now, D.Va takes a little slower because it has to do with how armor works in the game. But it's just generally the idea of, well, melt the fuck out of this, and melt the fuck out of that, and melt the fuck out of this. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. Now, there are counters to Bastion, I will say. Genji counters Bastion pretty well. Snipers counter Bastion if they can outrange him, but unfortunately, most of the maps, they don't have that much range to kind of outflank and outmaneuver Bastion to get a beat on him. So the snipers become pretty useless unless you're on, say, I don't know, maybe Numbani, definitely not Kings Row, definitely not Temple of Anubis, and what was the other map that has just insane? Volshaka Industries. Well, Shotgun Industries, it's like, how the hell are you going to get around on him? He can see every angle you come from. You know, but that's Bastion. He does have some counters to him, so that's why I'm not railing Bastion too much. I just like his fire rate reduced, his gun to overheat, or something. I mean, he does run on ammo. I get that, but it's like, it's like the ammo's nice, but why not just give him infinite rounds, lower how fast they fire, but make it to where he overheats. So he can fire infinitely like D.Va, but they'll overheat. D.Va should be overheated as well, same thing, because not reloading is one thing, having a massive bullet storage like Bastion is one thing, but even he has to reload at some point. You can't really take advantage of that, but at least it's fair. D.Va, it's just like, tung, 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 tung. Now, she does slow down, she does almost stop moving. She's very slow, like extremely slow walking when she does continuously fire like that. But it's more for hosing down a doorway than it is, so it's like you can move around pretty well with D.Va. Now, that's off Bastion, on to Hanzo. I'm sure everybody's favorite, okay? So basically, the problem with Hanzo is the recon arrow's fine, the split arrow's fine, those don't seem to be that much of an annoyance. The problem lies in his ult. The fact that his ult can go through walls, and it's not really an issue as long as you can see it coming. Now, the problem is that if you can't see it coming, you can't dodge it, and it does 100 damage a second. I'm not kidding, I counted. I was hit with it earlier, I was on full 200 health, and it immediately tore through me. I counted 1, 2, dead. Immediately. Just fucked over. Completely fucked over. So, what I would do for Hanzo is the arrow. The arrow that he shoots, like wherever the arrow is, he shoots it out, and it lands somewhere. I think that should be the end point, and the start point should be at his bow. So basically, if I'm Hanzo and I shoot, and an arrow lands here, and my bow's over here, it should start here, and then finish here. So that would prevent him from shooting through walls at all. Still allow the things to go through walls only to the point of the arrow. That way he can't shoot it into a wall and then it keep running through to the other side of the map. I mean, there have been instances where I've actually seen gameplay of people on like Temple of Anubis where he shot downrange. If anybody's played Temple of Anubis, you know Capture Point B. He was standing in the middle of B, shot down through the doorway, kept going, kept going, kept going. It killed like 3 guys, kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going, going through the walls, kept going to the other side of the map, killed a guy coming out of spawn. It's a global range. It just keeps fucking going. Now, it's not that much a problem. Like I said, if you can dodge it, if you can, you know, stay away from it, it's not really that big an issue. But the problem is if you're dead center of where it's going, and you don't see it because it gets fired through a wall, and, I mean, he does go, what's and, you know, it's a very audible cue. But even then, even if you hear it coming, it's like, if he's through a wall, you can't see where he's going to fire it from. You can hear that he's warming up for it, and you should get away from wherever you are, but you don't know which direction to run. Sometimes you end up running right into it. I think that's the big problem with Hanzo, and actually earlier, I don't know, like, how he did it. I don't know. He had this, thanks spray. He had a spray loaded up that said thanks, and I'm not kidding, he shot his ultimate through a wall, got a triple kill on me, Happy, and T-Bone, and he just went over and sprayed the wall, like it was nothing. Now, I don't know if he got extremely lucky, or he had somebody calling out that, hey, there's a bunch of them by the white van, shoot through the wall, or if, even worse, he might have had somebody ghosting us, where they come in and they're spectating, and they go and watch our team, and then they report our location. I don't know if that's even a thing in Overwatch, don't quote me, I'm not sure if that's what happened or not, but whatever happened, it was completely unfair. There was no skill to it. All he did was shoot it through a wall, like every other Hanzo player shoots it through a wall, gets kills. It's honestly ridiculous. But that's Hanzo's problem. Widowmaker, I don't really have too much of a problem with. Like I said, she's probably a big problem on PC. It seems Hanzo and Widowmaker are more of a problem on PC. McCree's more of a problem on PC. People that are accurate are more of a problem on PC than on console. On console, it's more Pharah, Junkrat, Symmetra, Winston, people that don't really need to aim because we can't really, I mean, yes, Mei, I will include Mei, because Mei is Mei, I like Mei, but I will admit her being able to spray with her little ice gun is pretty easy, I have to say. Now using icicles like me, I don't usually spray unless somebody's right in front of me and I get the chance to freeze them, and then after I'm done freezing them, I just plock them in the head with an icicle. Because the icicle does more damage, right? It does a good chunk of damage. Now, but yeah, it just seems like on console there's a lot more spray and pray going on, and I really hate. Which is why Bastion is like a big thing on console, because you just just point fire. It's not really hard. Soldier 76 the same way, point fire, not hard at all. But Widowmaker, I don't really see a nerf needed for her at all. She doesn't seem that good unless, like, maybe make it to where she can't really quickscope at all, because I've seen some people doing that. In actually play of the game, I saw it. I got hit on play of the game, and it was a triple kill, and the dude's just pow, 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 just going in, and the second it hits 100, just spamming it and dropping back out and then dropping in. I don't know if that's like aiming in resets it faster or what, but I don't know what he was thinking with that. So there's that. Widowmaker's fine. Winston's fine. Let's see. I'm trying to think of everybody here. It's kind of hard to think of them. Tracer. Tracer is a bitch. I'm just going to say that now. Tracer is a pain in the ass, and she is just terrible. She's too fast. She's too fast. You can't really catch her. You can't really counter her. There's really nothing. I mean, the only thing that can grab Tracer, I think, the only thing I would consider even a counter to Tracer would be Roadhog, just because his hook stalls her long enough for him to just shotgun her in the face. But then again, Roadhog pretty much shotguns any squishy hero in the face. Anybody who's like 200 health, he can just pull him in and then bop, right in the face. Just bang, dead, bang, dead. You know, hook, bang, dead. Just done. And Tracer, like I said, man, there's really nothing that stops her. And they say, okay, you know, she's squishy. Tries the game tips actually say, you know, try Hanzo or Widowmaker to try and get her. Well, I'm sure that's well and good on PC, but on console we have this little thing called a controller and a right stick. We have to aim using our right stick, which is the most annoying thing ever compared to PC. Because on PC you can be 10 times more accurate. Like I said, it's a lot more accurate on PC because it's laser focused. But on console, it's kind of a little harder. You can't really just drag your cursor around wherever you want it. You have to kind of, you know, set it where you think it's going to be and all that. It's really annoying. Not saying that PC is better. I'm just saying that console is, you know, it's just, the Overwatch on console is just, so Tracer, yeah, pain in the fucking ass. Major pain in the ass. Make it to where, I mean, I like her time rewind and everything. Maybe if you want to give her like a 50, a buff of like 50 health to get her up to 200, so she'll be on par with people like Soldier 76 and Junkrat, and then make it to where her warp back in time thing doesn't actually heal her, but you can set where it's going to go, so it's more like a teleport instead of a backward time thing. So you can drop like this little tracker thing, or shoot this little tracker thing wherever you want, and then you can teleport over that area and then have the regular cooldown. I think that could be an interesting kind of way to rework Tracer a little bit. Let's see, I'm trying to think of everybody. Reaper is for 13-year-olds that can't play the game. I mean, Reaper's Reaper. There's really nothing to be done. He's high damage because he's meant to be high damage. And he seems pretty alright. So long as, you know, you're paying attention, you can kind of get away from him, or because if he sneaks up on anybody squishy, I mean, he just 2 shots. He does like 75 for each gunshot. It's kind of insane. He's really good at melting armor, which is what he's built for, so I'm not going to fault Reaper that much. He's just kind of annoying, but you can deal with him. Let's see, Lucio. Oh my god, Lucio. Like, Lucio and Mercy are, like, seriously annoying because they're healers, but at least Lucio, it's just like, okay, well, he's a healer, but, you know, he can't revive people. Mercy's just like, Helmenstabben every 30 seconds. Helmenstabben, Helmenstabben. I heard that they were reworking her. She's up next on to get tapped by the Nerf Hammer a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, with the priorities of these heroes, McCree and D.Va definitely did need to come first. There was really no problem, at least on console, for console players on that. Now, what I would recommend is, like I said, fix Hanzo and Bastion, and there's certain guys that really need to be fixed. Torborn's another one that really, it's to the point where we went 3-man Torborn. Me, Happy, and T-Bone. We like to run the strat where we just get on and we just pick, like, a fucking hero, and we all just play a hero and just fuck around. And it's kind of fun. And then, we did Torborn, and I had my turret set up, and it was facing straight at the hard point, and, right, where you start the payload, and I die, everybody dies, it's like, no, they're taking it, no, contest it. And then I have my ult, and I just go full Torborn, full Dwarf, and just Torborn, go ulti, and then my turret goes to level 3, and then just melted everybody off the point. And I'm just like, how's that fair? I just came out of spawn, and I pressed one button, and the turret did everything for me. Now, what I would like to see is that the turret not lock on as fast, or, like, say the turret, like, once it locks you, it has to actually turn towards you, so it doesn't just snap, and then just do. Instead, it would just go, foop. It would lock on, and then you'd just be like, and you can see the laser hitting you, and then a second later, it'll take a second to go, whoop, whoop. Maybe not this slow. Maybe something like whoop, whoop, whoop. But give you like a hair second to react. Like the laser sees you first, then the turret actually starts firing at you. So give you a second. Give you like a good half a second to 3/4 of a second to see what's going on with the turret. Yeah, but that's Torbjorn. Symmetra's gotta get out of support. Take her out of support. No more shielding your teammates. Just take her shield away. She doesn't need it. That's the only thing that qualifies her as a support. She doesn't heal. There's nothing. I mean, all she does is attack enemies. Like, that's it. Her beam is overpowered. Her turrets are overpowered. Her teleporter. The teleporter I don't really have a problem with because it can be destroyed. You can find it relatively easily if you're just looking in the right spot. If you notice where enemies are coming from in the middle of the map, yeah, there's a teleporter around there you might want to get. But that's my thoughts on Symmetra. Let's see. Zenyatta, I feel like he's fine right now. He's pretty good. I mean, if you can get a good Zenyatta, you can be good with Zenyatta, but you have to be good with Zenyatta. It's kind of like Genji, where he seems like he's like really awesome to play until you actually try to play him, and there's a skill gap there. There's definitely a learning curve to it. If you learn it, you're great. If you don't learn it, it's not like an easy peasy pickup like Bastion or Soldier 76, where everybody just picks it up and knows how to use it right away and is a god. Let's see, McCree got nerfed recently, so I have nothing bad to say about McCree. He gets countered, easily by anybody with a high damage, or can stun him first, or is just out of range for him, especially on console, because McCree can't aim for shit on console. Try long shotting with McCree on console, I dare you. Try hitting anything smaller than Roadhog and Reinhardt, and I dare you. It's not going to work. It will not work. You can at like extreme ranges, but it's just so hard. So that's McCree. Let's see. Like Fair, like I said, she's a little too easy with her bombs, but there's really no rework needed there. Junkrat, no rework. He's just annoying. Let's see. Trying to think. Who else? I'm trying to think of the entire roster in my head. So Reinhardt's fine. Nothing bad about him. Roadhog, like I said, the hook's annoying, but there are counters to Roadhog. I've found ways to get around Roadhog. Stunning him works, hitting with high damage works, or just a lot of bullets at the same time works. He's not like a 1v1 guy. It's like 2, minimum 3 to take him down quickly. So it's like you 3v1 him, you 2v1 him, you're fine. Don't 1v1 him because you'll get killed, unless you're playing like Reinhardt, because I think even Reinhardt can then fuck him up pretty good. Nothing bad to say about him. Let's see, who else is tank? Zarya needs a serious debuff to her shield. Her shield is ridiculous. It does not need to buff. It does not need to buff her damage. Like, it doesn't need to do that. Now, if it wants to absorb what's hitting her and then transfer it into an overshield or health, kind of like Lucio's overshield when he drops the beat and uses his ult. If, like, she pops her shield and then it gets hit by bullets, that causes each bullet does, like, 10 points of overshield damage, so, and the shield, make the shield last a little longer if you want to do that. Maybe have like the cooldown increase by a second or two, because it seems like she pops it a little too often. But definitely don't have it to where it'll increase her damage, because she already spits out enough damage, and she spits out nades and a beam, and it's ridiculous with her. So that's Zarya. I'm trying to think if there's any other guys. Let's see, Hanzo. Anybody else have a problem with? Hanzo, can you then? Let me actually check real quick the actual roster. I probably should have done this to start, just so I know exactly who I'm talking about, because there might be somebody I'm forgetting, because it's a big roster. Let's see. Characters. That's what I need. So let's see. Tier list. Here we go. Okay, so let's see here. Overwatch tier list and rankings. No, I just need the names. They have guides and stuff in here. I might actually check that out in a minute. Lucio, Reinhardt, talked about him. Junkrat, Widowmaker, McCree, Reaper, Mercy, Winston, Hanzo, Mei, Genji, Pharah, Soldier 76, Tracer, Symmetra, Diva, Roadhog, Zarya, Bastion, Torbjorn, and Zenyatta. Okay, so I talked about them all. Good. That was my objective there. So I talked about all the guys for balancing issues. Talked about the matchmaking balancing issues. I think that's pretty much my main issue with that, and the fact that console, like, I just don't like how it kind of shitty it is on console. So I'm not saying they need to make like more characters that have like hip fire or anything. They just want it to where it's like I mean, if they make another shooter game, which I really hope they do. I really hope they make like StarCraft. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. But if you're gonna make another shooter, put ADS in it maybe, or if you're going to do another Overwatch style game, please consider console. Like, that's just, it feels like console was tacked on. It doesn't feel like they fledged out console. It feels like they looked at console and went, heh, console plebeians. They just need to get a PC. And then, I mean, I can't really fault Blizzard that much. They are a PC company. They've worked with computers a lot. This was literally their first, I mean, well, the only other game I could think of that went on console was Diablo 3, and that just went on PS3, and that was a top-down. So it was just, like, ridiculous. Overwatch is their only real console title they've ever done. I don't really count Diablo 3, so Overwatch was basically their first step into not only the shooter genre, but the console world, and I hope they don't make the same mistakes with Overwatch 2, or the next one, or, you know, whatever shooter they make up next. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot. Trying to think. I think everything's fine. I do have to commend them for the character controls, being able to individually set character controls aside from all. You can set either all hero controls, or you can go into each individual hero and set it that way, which is great. I've reset a lot of my characters that way, to where anybody who doesn't have an L2 like secondary fire, I just use L2 as a melee, so I just put melee on there, and that way I can melee quicker. And stuff like that. Being able to rework the controls is nice. Being able to skip the kill cam is nice. Yeah, that's about all I can think of for this rant thing. That's about it. I've talked about the characters, talked about the matchmaking. That's really all I wanted to talk about. The game in general overall is just very good. The loot box system could be little less grindy, but they're trying to nickel and dime people with loot boxes. I understand that. I mean, all AAA companies have done it at this point. I can't really single out Blizzard. I mean, Blizzard, shame on you, but I mean, taking cues from you know, Activision, and, you know, I think Activision and Blizzard are actually part of the same thing, so hold on. I'm pretty sure they are actually part of the same company, or they are, like, together partners. I think Overwatch was actually, it was produced by Blizzard, but the actual, it was made by Blizzard, but it was actually produced by, the devs were from Blizzard, but the producer was from Activision, I think. I think Activision actually produced it. Not sure. Actually, wait, what am I doing? I have a case over here. Why am I looking this up? Let's see, Blizzard Entertainment. No, it has nothing to, it seems to not have anything to do with Activision at all, but they definitely did take a cue from Activision, by saying, you know, okay, well, look at what Activision's doing with Call of Duty, and they're putting all these supply drops in and people aren't questioning them. They put all these things in Destiny and nobody's questioning them. They're doing all this microtransaction and nobody's questioning them. So let's jump on the bandwagon, let's make some money, and let's kind of screw it over. Now, I will say it's pretty good that they give you a loot box after every level up, and every level up after level 20 is only 22,000 XP, so it stays static until you hit 100. I'm hoping that when I hit 100 and I restart or fresh start or prestige or whatever they call it in Overwatch, then when I go to the next highest prestige level, I guess, it'll reset my progress to where I can earn like 17 loot boxes in a row, which would be great if they did that. Now, if they don't do that, whatever. I'll just have to grind like a real gamer rather than throw my money away to a company that doesn't need it, because it's a $60 game that should have only been worth $30, or should have been free to play if they're going to throw in the loot box thing and make just microtransaction. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then do the usual. Like, subscribe, check out my streams, and I will see you guys in the next video. Reap the Rager, signing off.